Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Minorities Report. I'm Chris,
I'm corrupt.
and we have a special guest with us. Who are you, Mr. Special Correspondent?
Mystery, and I'm here against my will.
Yes.
Yes, we're here with Mr. E because we are. This is our primarily. This is our review, our thoughts on Big Monkey versus Big Lizard.
Yes. Lizard versus
Before we
monkey.
even get into that, we have stuff to look at. So I showed something to Corrupt, and then we have something pop culture related, I guess.
I mean,
because we want to be like comicbook.com. We're not going to talk about comics. We're going to talk about everything else.
Yes. We're a culture blog. We might
You
as
can
well
call this culture.
cringe culture. There you go. We might as well be you know what? Like, seriously though, we might as well be a culture podcast because that's literally all we talk about is like random shit in culture.
Some would say a society.
We are a society. You know, I'm
We're
mad.
living in one.
You know, I'm mad. Apparently, Joker didn't say that.
He only apparently they added it back.
Really?
I think so.
I want it.
How many versions of this movie are there going to be?
Yeah, we have the Whedon cut, the Snyder cut, and now the Snyder Society cut.
I know. You know what I want? I want him to say, "I'm the Joker, baby." That's what I want.
Joker.
Guys,
That's actually just the Society cut. It just takes that video and just adds it randomly into the film.
Guys, let me ask you, how long would a Jackson cut be? Just an uncut version of Jackson's Lord of the Rings.
Like 8 hours. 8
Honestly,
hours?
yeah. I mean, I've already watched the extended cut, so it's not even like I was like every film. So apart from the Hobbit stuff, I can't be bothered with like the extended cuts of like the Hobbit stuff. The original Lord of the Rings stuff, I've seen the extended cut of those.
So the Polish girl I used to go out with, like, I don't know why I said the Polish girl. A bit like one of my exes.
Wow.
Like,
sorry, Hitler.
And Corrupt, you are just a man of the world.
I am. Everything from Poland.
I fucked everyone from France to Brazil.
Okay, that's random. So, the first girl I ever went out with, her name was Paris. She was pretentious as her name sounds. Anyway, so, oh yeah, I watched the uncut version of the Lord of the Rings or the extended cut with my ex. Bro, that movie is long, man.
It is like.
And
I mean, it does flesh out a lot of the characters.
It really does, yeah.
In those, like Boromir and Faramir get more character in those extended cuts.
Yeah, he's not just
which is actually much needed.
Yeah, he's not just useless fat man for most of the movie, you know.
He's not just I'm Sean Bean, I'm going to die. There's more of like a backstory for like his whole reasoning for being there and his whole like devotion to his father.
Yeah, you get to understand him as a character. Yeah, you get to understand him as a character too.
And then same with Faramir, with like him being like he's the second son. He's always in the shadow of his brother. The brother's like, oh, come on, you know, father definitely loves you. You just gotta,
stop being a
leave.
wife.
And it's ironic because he's the one who inherited his father's power.
Pretty much, yeah.
You gotta, he'll respect you one day, maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe he'll try to burn you alive. Yeah.
Oh, hey, he almost did that too.
He always did because he's fucking crazy.
Exactly, he almost did. And then he ended up falling out of the castle.
He got set on fire. Then he fell. Then he ran off.
Right, that's
the top
true.
of Minas Tirith.
Yeah, and then he ran off and fell out of the castle. It was a good villain though. All right, so
yeah,
you ready for some
trailers and some
trailer on trailer action?
Yes. So I guess we'll start off with the slightly better of the two, Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Mocha. Strawberry, red velvet, blue velvet.
Oh, that's just fucking grim. Just fucking just melting each other. So is this going to be in the actual film, or is it just like a fun little like trailer?
I don't know.
It feels like it.
They're making s'mores out
feel-
of each other. What the hell?
Yeah, that's grim. Cute but grim. Just
Yeah,
fucking
it was.
making s'mores out of each other, just melting each other.
Cannibalism.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ, it is. They turned the marshmallow, the Stay Puft Man, into like little cannibals.
He wasn't a cannibal. He was just the embodiment of destruction and going to annihilate the human race.
Choose the form of your destruction. That shows.
What would pop into your head in that moment? What form would you choose for the destroyer of mankind?
Movie Bob.
So you could easily defeat him.
Yes. So I could push him over. All right. What about you, Chris? What about you, Mr. E?
When I think of someone who's going to destroy the world, probably Saiyan Saga Vegeta, and we'd probably all be doomed.
I like how you want to go with somebody who will kill us all. All right. What about you, co-host?
Destroy us. I don't know. Just the embodiment of Twitch thoughts. They just became one person. That would destroy us all.
Just one.
Oh God!
Just one giant vagina.
No. No, all the Twitch thoughts morph into one giant woman, like that scene in "Dude, Where's My Car?" And then their army of Sims will just march on the world and sweep across the land.
Twitch thought Voltron combine.
It's a giant angry woman.
There are some guys that like to be stepped on.
There are guys who like to be stepped on. Yes.
That's a thing. It's weird. Personally, I just have sex, but like stepping on is just weird.
So you aren't a kinky guy. We need to take one of those kink fucking quizzes.
Okay.
See how kinky we are. There you go. All right, let me see now. Let me play.
I don't even want to think about that quiz.
Yep.
Space Jam.
Yep. That's it.
You're gonna subject me to a second watch?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready, Mr.
Have you seen Mystery? Oh god, you're not gonna. If you like the first one, you're definitely not gonna like the trailer for this.
Basketball can't.
Yeah.
My
Space
childhood
Jam.
gonna ruin.
Is that a Nintendo Switch? Hold on. Product placement.
It is a Nintendo Switch.
Are you sure? It looks. Oh, yeah, you might have like weird Joy-Cons. Probably that's why. Like the really weird like the ones that like pretty much cover the actual Switch
Is that a
instead
Switch?
of attached to it.
Is
Don't
that a
know.
Switch?
Maybe it's just
I think
just
it's
one
a
of those
Switch.
weird phone controllers. Like you can attach controllers to your phone or something.
And I can help you get there.
That's not what I want, Dad. You never let me do what I want to do. You never let me just do me.
Hold up, wrong floor. Bet Will Smith ain't got to deal with this.
Will Smith ain't gonna deal with this. He has to deal with Jaden Smith. That's actually worse.
The only way you're getting your son back is if you and I play a little basketball. Pete, send this clown to the rejects.
Like.
Also, what the whole plot revolves around, he kidnaps his son so they could play basketball?
Yes.
Also,
Why?
this makes
So, are they trying to say that this is connected to the original Space Jam, or is this a standalone?
I don't
movie?
think so, because this bullshit had nothing to do with the original.
Yeah, because the aliens weren't like. They weren't a part of like a computer. They were like actual aliens.
They were their own separate race.
Yeah, they were actual aliens.
And their whole thing was they wanted to kidnap the Looney Tunes for their fucking boss's amusement park.
Yeah.
This one, it's
And they siphoned the
Don Cheadle
talent of
wants
NBA
to
players.
play a basketball game.
Okay, and now look at this right here. What is this outfit? What is this? Is this supposed to be futuristic?
Guys, he's evil and quirky.
And look at that, like evil dresses so fashionably now. Like he looks ridiculous.
Also, I looked up his name, like
Yes.
Don Cheadle's character.
Yes.
It's called Algae Rhythm.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's so embarrassing.
Wait.
Why is he a
What is this?
cartoon?
Yeah, like the whole thing with like the original is that it was real MJ, just green screened into fucking the Looney Tunes setting.
Yeah, that's what made it real. That's kind of what added, like to the charm of the movie. This is like stupid.
I'm a cartoon?
Why not just make a cartoon? Oh God.
Like in the original, the Looney Tunes themselves were the center of the plot.
Yeah.
Like they kidnapped Michael Jordan because they needed his help with their problem, not the other way around.
Yeah, whereas this is like some cartoon computer world or something.
And also, like, I love how he's like, I need to assemble a team, and he puts like Superman, Gandalf, the Iron Giant, and all that, but he just goes with the Looney Tunes instead because Space Jam.
Yeah, I'll just go with the car. Wait, he actually went with Superman? Where was that? So,
It was in like his list, and
All things are like super.
Gandalf,
because they're all double-
King
yeah.
Kong, Iron Giant.
Yeah, and it's like no, and then Bugs is like, no, I've got the perfect guys for you, and it's the Looney Tunes, and that's only a reason because Space Jam.
I'm surprised they let Yosemite Sam in here, considering he uses guns and shit.
King James.
Is that Scooby Doo?
yes,
That
it
was the
was.
mystery.
Also, they had Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb in the background.
Yeah.
I swear it was.
The Space Jam.
And it also
King
really
Kong.
cringy how they keep referring to him as King James.
Is that Agent Smith from The Matrix?
Yeah,
And it's Morpheus! Oh, this is so
Fucking
awful!
the
discount
freaking
Morpheus.
it.
Oh my god, it's
the
it!
monkeys from the monkeys from the
Mr.
Wizard
Freeze
of Oz.
behind Don Cheadle.
Like the Wicked Witch, you can see her hat.
This is awful. Oh, it's Bunty King.
Also, why do they keep referring to him as King James? It's cringe.
That's his
'Cause that's his nickname.
moniker. Yeah, that's his nickname.
I mean, I get that, but
I get that. Yeah, it is cringeworthy. Just King James. I'm the king around here.
I'm Don Cheadles.
I'm War Machine.
Not anymore. Now I'm just bitter and
is
on
that fucking
Twitter.
Space Ghost?
Where? Oh my god, it is! It's Space Ghost and the Gila Gorilla!
Why is Space Ghost still in the original animated style, but the Looney Tunes aren't in this part? They make the Looney Tunes 3D CGI
And I hate
instead of
that.
the 2D animated.
I saw the some of the 3D images for the Looney Tunes. I hated that. Like in the original,
Oh, they're gonna show more of it. Like
the drawn
coming up,
ones were
yeah.
so much better.
Like, I guess because animation too expensive.
I would argue 3D animating would be more expensive. Because you have a lot more like detail to
Assets?
work with.
Yeah, you know.
And assets.
I guess.
with 2D, it's just for the majority of it, just one static shot of it.
I guess it's because
Like
with
one side of it. Yeah.
I guess with animation, it's because with animation you have to draw every single frame, and with 3D you don't have to do that. I guess. Also, is that the Jetsons? It is the Jetsons.
Introducing the Goon Squad.
The villains are cringe.
What? The Goon Squad?
That's supposed to be the Goon Squad.
I mean, at least the Mon Squad was intimidating because, like, they look monstrous. These people just look like various CGI bad guys from different franchises. And not only that, but you knew the Monstars were going to be tough to beat them because you know they stole the skills of the best players in the NBA at the time.
Also, the thing about the Monstars is that like their transformation sequences were detailed and frightening. Like Compared to, look at this shit. This is what, look at this.
Introducing.
That's another thing is you know the monsters throughout the entire movie. They're not introduced right when they're about to play.
Yeah. It kind of comes at you, so it has more impact and weight. This is just, look at our discount supervillains.
You gotta win this game.
Let's end this.
Got you, Ron. And get our son back.
You're the one who's currently ruining Star Trek.
Who?
Who?
Oh my God! It is.
Michael Burnham.
Yeah, Michael Burnham. Oh, it is Michael Burnham! She's dressed like a woman! Holy moly! Who's this random guy right here?
Nice.
I love this guy's expression. Look at this white dude behind this black lady.
He is an all. A scene god.
He's seeing God right now. And then there's a random firefighter. He's just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I'm going old school on his butt.
Whoa.
How about no?
That was cringe.
No.
No.
And I've seen people argue when someone says like, "Oh, I didn't like the new trailer. It looks bad," and someone's like, "Well, it's a kids' movie." It's like, well, no, because it is entirely based on nostalgia.
Yeah, it's based on the nostalgia.
Kids nowadays are not going to have that nostalgia.
Exactly.
They didn't grow up with Space Jam.
They didn't grow up with the Looney Tunes. This is a movie.
No, so they're not going to get the WB references. So, like other properties.
Exactly.
Unless it's recent.
They won't get any of these references or any of these characters because these are characters that their parents grew up with.
They're not gonna know Space Ghost.
They're not gonna know who. They're not gonna know who the Flintstones are, who the Jetsons are. They're not gonna know.
They might not even know who the Iron Giant is.
Seriously, like this is more or less. This is their parents. This is their parents' childhood, not theirs. So to say it's a kids' movie is stupid because like there's no connection for children.
Yeah, like the Iron Giant Gandalf, like.
Majority of them, unless they've watched The Hobbit, they're not gonna understand Gandalf.
Yeah, and they're probably not gonna understand the Iron Giant.
Much less the Looney Tunes, which are older than that.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly, it's just
I knew the Looney Tunes because they were still showing them on Cartoon Network when I was a kid.
Eh.
And I mean the classic.
Honestly, this is just Member Berries, the film. Any film that's like a pseudo reboot / sequel or an older property, it's just Member Berries. Just remember this.
It's the classic.
Guys, remember this?
I miss cartoons that
Remember
showed
that.
attempted homicide.
So do I. Everything is shit now. Endless trash.
Speaking of endless trash, Kung Fu.
Oh, but of course, Sensei. What?
So we were talking about this. Talking about this earlier. We were talking about the plot of Kung Fu. So it's actually a reimagining of the original Kung Fu series, the David Carradine series.
Yeah.
And it
It's
does
about-
not sound interesting at all. It's about a Chinese American woman who leaves to go for a life-changing journey in a Chinese monastery, and she comes back and she uses martial arts and Shaolin values to fight the Triad, and also the assassin who killed her mentor.
Here's what's fucking stupid about this. Here's what I find annoying about this. They're always just reimaginings or rip-offs of earlier shit. Like what?
Hollywood's ideas are gone. There's no originality. A lot of like TV shows now. It's like let's just reimagine it. Let's reboot it.
Let's just reboot it for a current era. Wait, really?
Ugh.
Current year.
So this is their promo. Just show
how badass she
pilot.
is, cause she kicks ass, buddy. Wow, this is really terrible.
Wow, did you see that? She already did the whole like dodging the fist before the fist was even launched.
Exactly. That made like no sense.
This is the worst martial arts I've ever seen.
Wow, this is awful.
This is terrible.
You know what? You know what?
Awful.
You guys are just jealous. This is better than John Wick.
Smash a man's head through a car.
Yeah, the amount of the amount of force that you would need to smash someone through a fucking windshield is incredible. And if you did that, they would actually die.
And a woman that size is not generating that force. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a woman that size is not generating that amount of power to like throw someone through a windshield.
It's really not like. At most, he'd slam into the car.
Just
and maybe
slam into it, and then
yeah.
it might make a dent in the window.
Yeah, damage the window, and that's about it.
Maybe cut his head, but it's not. He's not going
Don't
through
smash
the
it.
This was terrible.
Brought to you by the CW. Thank you, CW.
A sneak peek of Kung Fu. Yeah.
Well, I actually want to know where are they getting their budget, because they are making so many different shows, and all of them are terrible.
I guess it's because of the low budget and it's easier for them
because it's Canada.
Yeah,
it's cheaper to do it in Canada.
Exactly. Yeah, it's easier for them to just keep spamming these shows. What I find weird though is that they're not trying to build up the shows they have. They just keep creating new shows, and each new show is terrible.
They can't be bothered putting any more time and effort to shows they already have. I mean, because to be honest, the only big show that they had was Supernatural, and that's done.
Yeah.
They got nothing else. Their Arrowverse stuff is terrible.
Exactly.
Like their main
Supernatural is
the
even
show that's named after their universe is done. It's finished.
Yeah, Supernatural. Like the only thing that's working for him now is Superman and Lois.
And even then, people are saying that people are saying that it kind of drops, like from episode 3 onwards.
Oh god, that's gonna be. Oh god, that's so sad.
Like
right.
I have so many. The CW has like so many different shows going on.
And all of them are the same variation.
Fight choreography is terrible.
All of them are the same variation on the teen drama bullshit.
It is. It's just gonna be the same stuff.
It really is. It's the same shit with a different. It's the same shit with a different actress.
So can they honestly get like better if they somehow have the budget to keep on making like 20 million shows every year? Could they hire better stunt coordinators or actually train your actors? Is that the stunt choreography in that preview was god awful.
It really was. It was
slowing it down. Honestly, slowing it down makes it much easier to see how terrible it is.
It was so slow and sloppy too.
Slow, like so choreographed. Like the guy was just holding his arm out with the knife. He instinctually knew that that woman was going to come out and grab it, and then she does the dodge just before that he even.
The thing about dodging is that you're supposed to use the least amount of energy that you can use to get out of the way of the blow, so that you don't end up tiring yourself out. That was
she's moving her arms and everything.
Like
she's like moving her arms and everything.
Bent over, like
yeah,
turning around half. Like it was just ridiculous. No one who knows martial arts would ever dodge anything like that, unless it's
like how slow he pulls his gun out because he knew that another obviously instinctually again another person was going to arrive to grab that arm.
Like if someone's hitting you, why just pull the gun out immediately?
Yeah. Why wait? Why go for your fists?
It's because they knew they were in a stunt scene.
I mean that's just been CW's stunt team in a nutshell. They're terrible. They can't choreograph anything properly. It's more apparent in the Arrow shows. Like they're running at each other, and then suddenly they've stopped and they're doing the proper fighting. They make it too obvious that it was two different scenes that they did. The lead up and then the actual fight itself, instead of like finding a way to make it flow properly, they don't. They make it because of how they cut it. They make it too obvious. And Kung Fu was terrible.
Everything about it was like. Everything about it was just so
lazy.
Lazy.
Yeah, it honestly is, yeah.
And it's so cliche. Here's my thing, though. I'm wondering if it's going to be rammed with politics like I almost said black woman.
It wouldn't be Black Lives. It wouldn't be BLM because they're all Chinese.
Yeah,
like that woman is.
You know what's funny? The guy that played Mulan's dad in the remake is in this.
Are you serious?
Imagine if the show about Asian people came out in favor of BLM. Just imagine the backlash that would.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Oh, they did their own version. Well, they technically do have their own version of BLM. Stop Asian Hate.
I know, but just imagine if they came out like in favor of BLM. Like, just imagine the backlash that would cause.
And also going back to Space Jam, I found out who is like directing it. I think it's Malcolm D. Lee, guy that made Undercover Brother.
Mm.
And he's making this trash. To be fair, a lot of his other films afterwards have been terrible. He did Scary Movie 5.
I mean, this is weird, Hollywood.
Like,
this is the perfect Hollywood example of failing
Undercover Brother is like good. It's like funny. But, like then he's now making like Space Jam: A New Legacy.
But it's its own canon, right? It's not connected to the other Space Jam.
I don't know.
Lord, I hope not.
Yeah, God, yeah, I hope not.
And then they had all these like random characters. Look at this nostalgia bait. Because this
Can't have
movie
Pepe Le Pew. He's problematic. Here's the little rapists from Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, I
never saw Clockwork
so much
Orange.
better. Nor did I actually.
It's pretty good. Although I've only seen it once, and this was like years ago, so I haven't had a recent rewatch of it. So I don't know if it still holds up. But from what I can kind of remember, it was good.
This Vinny Vine sauce shit keeps appearing in my timeline. I know nothing about it though.
Neither do I. I don't care. So, I guess we should go on to the main part.
Yes.
The main part of our podcast. Big Lizard versus Big Monkey. So
yes.
we've all seen Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
So we're going to be obviously talking about spoilers. So it's your fault if you haven't watched it yet. Don't blame us. That's a you problem.
Exactly. This is a spoiler episode. If that bothers you, get the fuck out now, or else don't say shit and just watch.
Send Mr. E to shank you.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
No, I'm not shanking anybody. I will punch them really hard.
Okay, there. He will punch you really hard, yes.
Okay.
But
you draw the line at shanking, but you will punch really hard.
Punch really hard, yes.
You control
I will not use weapons. I am a pacifist.
I can control how hard I punch. I mean, thrusting a knife at somebody, pretty much up to the knife.
Yeah, that's it. Well, not only that, and where you stab them.
Yeah, because where you stab them is really important. Because like there are spots on the human body.
You could just stab them in the arm, and that most likely there's not going to be like a lot of
damage.
Permanent damage. If you like stab them like close to like the lungs or the heart,
or in the stomach, that must hurt. That'll hurt like hell.
Yes. But speaking of fights, yes, Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes.
So I'll talk about the synopsis, and then we'll get into
All right.
our discussion about it.
Our
So
analysis.
yes, our expert analysis. So 5 years after the events of King of the Monsters, Godzilla is the apex titan, and for some reason people regarded him as a savior, despite the fact he wasn't really. But he's now not so much a savior because he's been attacking these facilities owned by this company called Apex, which do play a part in the film. But the big hubbub is the whole Godzilla wants to go up against King Kong because they're rival species. Kong is also another apex predator, but Kong's being hidden. But the company Apex wants to use Kong to find Hollow Earth. There's some mysterious energy in there, and stuff happens, leads to various fights. Essentially, what happens, pretty much.
Yeah.
And now, a discussion. Since you're the guest, Mystery, what were your thoughts on Godzilla versus Kong?
Why were there even humans in this?
Like, that's a good part because they detract from the entire plot. Mystery. Ha ha ha. Get it, Mystery.
All I wanted was giant monsters punching each other for an hour and a half.
Instead, we got boring human bullshit and less Godzilla.
Oh, to be fair, they at least kind of acknowledged, for the most part, that no one cares about the human stuff.
Yeah, but
that is slightly more like decreased in this film compared to the other ones. Yeah, if they had, I think. Well, the problem is you kind of need humans in there to explain stuff.
Yeah.
If it, I would like just a film of them like fighting each other, but like you're gonna be losing. Like you're gonna know. Okay, so why are they fighting? Why is this happening?
Yeah, you need a human perspective to frame the events for what's going on, so you know what the hell is happening. I wanted more Godzilla though.
I disagree. If it was just an open screen of Godzilla rising from the ocean, and then another monster coming over a hill, and they just fought each other for an hour and a half, that would be perfect for me. I don't need context. Why are they fighting? Because they just are. Good enough for me.
I like that. Good enough for me. All right. You mind if I read off what Quill said? Because he kind of agrees with Mystery.
Yes, so our friend Quillsniff gave Corrupt a copy of his review of Godzilla vs. Kong. Let
me read this wordy document here. 7.5 out of 10, 8.5. It would have been an 8.5 if we removed the humans, so he's in Mr. E's camp. I liked watching Neon 9/11. So do I. The fights were nice, but the humans running around in Tron ships was weird. I didn't give a shit about 11 and her friends. Nor did I, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, well, I guess we can talk about that. Yeah, the weakest part of this film is the podcast guy and Stranger Things girl. Their plot. It is so goddamn pointless, and the only reason it exists is so we can learn about Mechagodzilla. Which, to be fair, you could easily work around to still have the.
You could just have the evil. You could just have the. You could just follow the evil guy and have him slowly reveal Mechagodzilla.
I mean, yeah, well, because his daughter's part of the Hollow Earth team.
Yeah.
She could do like the evil like reporting back, and then him and fucking Serizawa's kid can talk about like their plans, and then it's revealed that the whole Hollow Earth team is actually secretly to actually get energy for Mechagodzilla. Like you didn't need the Millie Bobby Brown stuff. She's only there because she was in the previous film. Her stuff was so pointless. Like her friend played by the kid from Deadpool was fucking annoying.
His daughter was hot. Oh my god.
Hold on, can we agree? Oh yeah, first of all, his daughter is really hot. Can we also agree that her death was hilarious?
I Oh yeah.
You weren't there when we were watching it, but Corrupt was upset that she died.
I also sympathize with the loss of hotness, but
she was
come on, that was
sexy,
funny.
bro. She was fucking sexy. How can you say that?
I know.
Her
The way the actress's name, for those who are wondering, Asa Gonzalez.
Her titties
You're welcome.
her titties were the size of melons. She was fucking hot. And then she just gets killed by that fucking monkey. Fuck Kong.
You don't
That's
like
why Corrupt is Team Godzilla, because Kong killed the hot woman.
No, like, to be fair, in my defense, I was always Team Godzilla, but I liked Kong as a character until he killed the hot chick. Fuck Kong.
Yeah, honestly, this should have just been a Kong film with like Kong got really developed in this film. So honestly, because Godzilla is hardly in it, despite the fact that his name is on half of the title.
Yeah, he's barely in the movie, and that pissed me off because I wanted more Godzilla.
The only thing we learned about him is that he doesn't like Mechagodzilla.
Let me see.
And then also a bit more that he doesn't like Kong.
Was Godzilla in the last two films much or no?
In King of Monsters, yeah.
King of Monsters, yes.
Because it feels
Godzilla, no, because they did the whole like, here's Godzilla, he's about to fight the Muto, and then they
like
cut away from
the Cloverfield thing where
the Mutos. Yeah.
No, it was like you see the aftermath and you see like
it's like
you get
the news report of like, oh, Godzilla was fighting the Muto. It's like, no, like we want to see the fights.
Because it feels like Godzilla doesn't get much characterization in general in these movies, but I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen King of Monsters yet.
The Millie Bobby Brown stuff with the podcast guy was like honestly the worst parts of the film. And also we talked about this as soon as like that character was introduced, Bernie.
Yeah.
So this to give context, this character secretly works in Apex for 5 years. But at the same time,
he's a mole.
He's a mole inside of Apex, and he also does a public podcast. This isn't a podcast that's like in secret. Like this is a public podcast because Millie Bobby Brown listens to this podcast, and he openly admits in the podcast that he is he's secretly covert inside of Apex. How has no one in Apex found him in these 5 years? He's openly said that he's been there in secret for 5 years.
I mean, one can only imagine
no one.
He's also
one can only imagine that the podcast is like super obscure, so no one.
I think that's the only reason why it's just.
Here's the issue with him too, right? His behavior is really erratic, and he's really paranoid, and he acts suspicious. Like everybody in the call was like, "Oh well, I mean, they wouldn't know what he's up." Like, no, I mean, you can't really give the guy an excuse. He was really paranoid, really suspicious. He was always talking about shit, and even if he wasn't a part of the secret project. Like, he's still some kind of risk because you don't let somebody that crazy, like, mess with your shit, especially if he's an engineer. Come on, man.
And also, the stuff about his dead wife was pointless. I thought we were going to get some backstory that, like, she was killed in one of the monster attacks, and that's his whole reasoning for, like, being, like, trying to figure out the truth about Apex.
Well, no, she's just...
Like, no, he just mentions, like, oh, I have this flask. From her, no, she passed on, and you know, if like, I've reached my limit, like I've had it if I start drinking from it. But like, we get like no backstory about his wife. There's like a lot of context with that character that is completely missing.
Like, there's a bunch, like the characters are so two-dimensional; they're just introduced. Also, I wasn't the only one who thought the fat dude from Deadpool was a girl. Like,
I don't like his character was like of those three of that plot line, he was probably the worst because he was just there.
He was so annoying. I don't even understand why he was there
he was there to provide a car, and that's it.
He had no purpose in that movie except to be annoying. Like, holy shit.
Oh, and how they managed to defeat or at least weaken Mechagodzilla was so contrived.
Yeah, like they
Let's
spilled
pour
wine
alcohol
on
on the
him.
control panel.
Yeah, and it like short-circuited the computer that was controlling Mechagodzilla. And then they gave Kong, and then like that allowed Godzilla to power up Kong's axe so that Kong could like split Mechagodzilla in two.
I mean, to be fair, if that didn't work, my man was gonna have to die and be sober.
That's true. That's true. Like
Yeah,
nobody
like
wants to die sober. Bro.
Of the human stories in Godzilla vs Kong, that is the worst.
You know
it is the most pointless.
I will say, like, I understand why Nerd liked the little deaf girl because she didn't talk, so that was less to detract from the movie.
I was okay with that, but like Alexander Skarsgård, like his character, his whole like, oh, I don't want to do it because my brother died in the original, like, failed attempts to get into Hollow Earth. It's just like that really went nowhere.
Yeah, like there were a lot of plot lines that were introduced that just went nowhere that were introduced in the movie, and they went nowhere.
And then like I think there's supposed to be an implied romance between him and the Kong Whisperer woman.
Yeah, but like that went nowhere.
That went nowhere because they have like a happy family moment like at the end. Like they're all together, like happy. The day is saved. Everything. Like
also,
I really don't care.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Who the hell built that temple?
Oh, in the Hollow Earth?
Yeah, the one that Kong goes to.
I think it's implied that Kong's ancestors built it.
Were they skilled in architecture?
I mean, they're like monkeys. I guess they just like use tools to like craft the temple.
Like there were pillars and archways and a giant throne in an intricate carving of Godzilla around the whole thing.
Yeah, like, because they're the hold on.
Giant monkey paws.
This is like a
tool work.
This is like a Michael Bay Transformers. You're gonna have to turn your brain off. If you start to think about a lot of the things in the film, you start to see every flaw.
Who built that giant hand too? Did the giant apes develop stone cutting?
Shh. Watch the film.
I mean, giant monsters randomly fighting, I could get behind because they're giant monsters. That's what they do. But a lot of stuff in this movie just made no sense. And how can they transmit the data all the way from Hollow Earth to like Hong Kong, where their headquarters was? Man, like that upload was super fast.
Like I said, you really have to turn your brain off with a lot of these things because if you start to think about it, you see all of the flaws.
Yeah.
You just have to accept they needed the power in order to. They get it so they can get Mechagodzilla to fight.
Exactly. So the reason why they needed the power source from Hollow Earth is because the Mechagodzilla needed a battery so that it could
needed more power. They established that they can get it to partially work, but only at 40% power.
Yeah, and then it just deactivates. It shuts down. Yeah.
That's the whole secret reason for the whole Hollow Earth expedition is so that hot daughter can find the energy and send it back to her dad. How that's possible, which Mr. E brought up.
Oh, it's because
you have to wave it away because that kind of technology wouldn't exist.
Yeah, I think the little robot
she literally scans it and then somehow they're able to recreate it.
So I think the little robot, because there was like a little robot that drilled into the Hollow Earth and absorbed its energy.
Yeah, and then it was like uploading.
Yeah, and then it uploaded the energy.
Yeah, somehow. Honestly, you have to turn your brain off with something like that.
Man, that little device with a better upload speed than my local library.
It makes no sense. That's not possible.
Like, it was a big-ass robot, so I'll just give him that. Hot daughter didn't have to die, though. Still angry about that.
She was evil, corrupt.
She was evil. Her death was comical. It's just... Kong hardly did anything. He just grabbed it and it just crushed it. It's not like some big villain death. It's just like... kind of subverted the expectations of like how she would die.
Yeah,
Kong just grabs it. He just crushes it like it was nothing.
And
He
the thing
doesn't
is,
even care.
he looks inside the ship to see who runs in like these people.
Yeah,
Looks inside and then as he crushes it, he just looks away. It's like not even my like effort. I don't need effort to even just.
Pretty
like,
much,
look
he
at them.
just
It's like,
grabbed the ship and then just crushed it in his hand and just threw it away.
Yeah.
That's how she dies. She just gets crushed by Kong, and then he just throws the ship away. It's
And
kind of
you hear her yelling, "No, no, 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 no!"
Yeah, no, and then.
And then, like, it's kind of funny because her father dies kind of the same way, where he's just
The
like,
same way, yeah.
yeah, where he's just sort of like casually killed by like Mechagodzilla.
It does the typical like
monologue,
villain death, monologue, and then villain death trope of like, oh shit, and
Yeah,
he
and then he
dies.
just dies.
The music like cuts off or quiets down and goes, oh shit, and then the music picks up as soon as he dies, like that trope.
Well, yeah. What was funny about that was that, like, what is it? Ghidorah was uploaded into the. Ghidorah just took over Mechagodzilla itself and then killed the.
Yeah.
And then killed the dude.
Honestly, they should have showed that they had its brain, not its skull.
Yeah, because it made no
They
sense.
have the skull, and the skull is hollowed out for fucking the cockpit for the control.
Yeah.
Like they should have just showed that it was his actual brain, because that would have made much more sense.
Yeah, than his skull.
When Mechagodzilla goes haywire, that is like, and the brain is still alive. Like we've seen that, like Ghidorah can like regenerate one of its heads, so maybe like the brain's still technically still alive.
Pretty much. Like, the Critical Drinker disliked it, but I'm like, no, that's his problems with it were why it was a great movie. It's supposed to be, like, brainless. It's a great brainless movie.
You turn your brain off. The film knows you're only there for the action. Man, it delivers.
I mean, what were the good parts you liked about it? Personally, I really liked the beam struggle between Godzilla and Mechagodzilla.
Oh, the beam. Yeah, the beam. Like, they had a beam struggle. That's true. They Dragon Ball Z'd it. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well talk about that. The highlight of this film are the fight scenes. We'll start off with the first one, which is the ships.
Where Kong is just jumping on top of ships. As Godzilla just like wrecks them and shit.
So before they get to the Hollow Earth, they need to transport Kong. And the problem is, they know if they take Kong out of Skull Island, Godzilla is going to know and is going to come for him. So they're transporting him on these aircraft carriers, and Godzilla tracks them down, and like Kong is like chained for most of it. And he's just like, "Fucking get me out! I need to fight. I can't let it kill me."
Yeah,
this is a great scene, and you actually see like Kong thinking when he fights. When he sees, like, he looks at the ships, and it's just like, okay, if I jump on that one, I can get over to that one, and then just throw fucking fighter jets at him.
Yeah, that's what he did. He threw like fighter jets at Godzilla. What was weird though was that, like, I think it was established that Godzilla acknowledged that he wasn't the enemy. It was Apex that he considered his enemy.
That was during, and then also at the end, because they established that whenever they turned on or tested Godzilla sensed it, because it registered as a rival Apex.
I think. At the beginning, like at the very beginning, Godzilla attacks an Apex facility.
Yeah, because they had a Mechagodzilla part there.
Yeah. That's why I found it kind of weird that he went after Kong, because he could have killed Kong at the end when he had his foot on his chest, but he was basically like, fuck off, I'm not here to kill you, and went after, and like was going after Apex. So I found that whole
I feel like it was mainly just to assert dominance. Like I'm the Apex now. I defeated you, so
no, I don't.
Like I'm the true king.
I mean, one thing that really makes the fight weird to me is that Kong gets this special axe made from
Godzilla.
a dorsal fin of one of Godzilla's species.
Yeah.
But then he gets it, but then halfway through the fight, he uses it once to knock Godzilla out. And then basically forgets about it until he's trying to fight Mechagodzilla.
No, he does use it multiple times.
Yeah, he uses it. Okay, here's what happened, though. Godzilla grabbed it with his mouth and then threw it away.
And then it also decharged.
Yeah.
Like, it lost it. So Kong couldn't even use it effectively. Because it was, at that point, it was just a giant axe.
And Godzilla...
A giant axe is better than nothing.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Godzilla is like... Okay, so Kong, somebody in the call actually said this too, and I agree. Kong is strong, right? But his specialty is weapons and using like tools and shit. But like Godzilla is, come as he is. He's basically a tank. So just an ordinary axe probably wouldn't do shit to him. But a charged up axe with his own breath weapon would probably hurt like hell.
Well, the thing is, he could still use it to block Godzilla's breath weapon. And the thing is, if you're in a fight with somebody, would you rather have just like a really hard stick or nothing at all?
I think the biggest issue was that it was thrown away, like that Godzilla grabbed it and threw it away to remove it from play, right? Because that's what I remember. He removed it entirely from play because he like grabbed it with his mouth and then just kind of like threw it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then Kong couldn't use it because Godzilla took it from play. And then, but like I don't know. The reason why I'm not convinced though that Godzilla spared him because of like to show that he was dominant was because it was shown throughout the movie that his issue was with Apex. And everywhere that they went, there was Apex. And that's who he attacked. Like, he didn't just walk around and attack everybody. He attacked specifically Apex facilities.
I mean, it could be that he's...
it's the whole...
It could be that he sensed Ghidorah, since they incorporated parts of Ghidorah.
That's what I said. With Apex, he attacked Apex facilities because he sensed Ghidorah.
And with
Kong, it's just because they're rival species.
Yeah,
they're both Apex Titans.
The thing is though, I get that Godzilla's smart, but I don't think that he just, did the whole like, I'm better than you, fuck off, like to exert dominance, as much as it was his way of saying, hey, fuck off, I'm not here to kill you, I'm here to kill them, basically, or Ghidorah or whatever.
I mean, I could see that if they actually properly explain that.
Yeah,
and it's just like
it's left to
him. Kong was just an annoying divergence.
I mean, to be honest, we can't decipher that conversation. It's two monsters roaring at each other.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like it's up to interpretation.
I do like the part where Godzilla just smiles at him after he like fucking like beats him. He's beats him up or something.
Yeah,
Godzilla just smiles at him.
Yeah, he just grins. Because like Godzilla is like sentient and shit.
Yeah, like I said, I think with this kind of film, if you think too much, you see the flaws. You need to turn your brain off.
Yeah, it's like it's mindless fun.
Which I'm okay with, because what I got in the end was fucking two monsters fighting each other.
I got a great movie.
Then fighting a robot monster.
Also, can we talk about the awesome part of the tag team where they're fighting Mechagodzilla? Godzilla charges Kong's axe with its breath, and then
and then he just splits him in half. I love that.
What about even like leading up to it? Is like as soon as like fucking Kong gets back up and he's told like go help, like Godzilla not enemy, and Kong's like no, he just beat me up, and then but the girl convinces him to do it because like Mechagodzilla is the bigger threat.
Yeah, because
he fucking puts his arm back in place, just smashes it on a building to put it back into place.
Exactly, because it's just
to join the fight.
Right, because
Like Godzilla and Kong just grab one arm each and just smash Godzilla into a tower
like I love
or
that.
into a building. Yeah,
I like
it's
how
great.
I like how Mechagodzilla is it's like this big menacing threat. Like he doesn't come in until the very end, but like he's a big threat right away because you just saw the guy.
He's using everything against like Godzilla.
Yeah,
And then
like
you could also tell that it's also Ghidorah in control because when they started the tag team, Mechagodzilla only focused on Godzilla.
yeah, because he was still angry at Godzilla for killing him.
Yeah, he's like using like fucking boosters, like missiles.
He
shit
had
to,
a
like,
drill on his tail
Like he
that he
was
tried to get Kong
Hell
with.
yeah.
Yeah, he was serious. Like the only started attacking Kong when Kong pissed him off because he's like, okay,
When
now
Kong interfered when Kong interfered and joined the fight.
yeah, he's like, now I have to kill because initially, even when Kong joined the fight, he still focused on Godzilla. But then Kong pissed him off, and he's like, okay, now I have to focus on you, little monkey man, and I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna kill Godzilla.
And he almost succeeds until human plot interferes. Dumb human plot interferes.
Dumb human plot.
And then Godzilla's like, I'm firing my laser at
I'm
your
gonna
axe.
fire my laser at your axe, and then you're gonna use your axe to kill this fucker.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, yeah, we're all happy, and then fucking Godzilla roars. And they're like, oh shit, they're gonna continue the fight.
And then
No, they kind of begrudgingly acknowledge that they helped each other.
Exactly.
And they're just like, okay,
because it's
go do our own thing.
right. Because
Godzilla will stay on the surface, and King Kong will rule Hollow Earth.
yeah, he'll rule Hollow Earth.
I think Godzilla doesn't really care. Like he
Yeah.
just uses Hollow Earth tunnels. He doesn't. I don't think he really cares about Hollow Earth.
Yeah, he just uses the tunnels to navigate himself, but he's like,
Yeah. While King Kong's like, this is my home.
exactly.
Look, my people were here.
Yeah, Hollow Earth is King Kong's to rule, but the surface is Godzilla's to protect.
It was very obvious that that they weren't going to kill each other, and it's just going to end in like stalemate where they had to fight a bigger threat. It was very obvious, but it was at least entertaining.
I think it was entertaining how they did try to give them a good fight. Like the first fight, like the first fight was pretty fucking. The first fight was pretty fucking good. I'll say that, and then you had the second fight. And then you had the third fight, and then Mechagodzilla just appears out of nowhere. It's Mechagodzilla!
Yeah. And I will say that we were talking about this much earlier in Discord. We could actually see the fights, the coloring in like the fight scenes. We could actually probably see it.
Yeah.
That was always a problem. That was always a problem with the previous Godzilla films. It's just that it was dark,
Like it was.
so you could hardly see anything. But this one, the first fight we see, it's just like just before like the sunset.
This is so.
So you got like the orange. You have the orange lighting.
Yeah,
And
like
then when they fight in like Hong Kong, you have like the neon buildings, like lighting everything up.
it's like it's what did Quill say? It's like a neon 911. So
Neon 911, yeah. It was definitely, and then towards the conclusion, it's daybreak happens. It started, and the sun is rising. So, and they're continuing to fight in the when the sun rises.
yeah,
Definitely, I could actually probably see the fights this time.
you know, I'm wondering if they're gonna do another team up in the next movie. I think they have to, honestly, because you have to go bigger than Ghidorah, though. I mean, Kong is like the ruler
Well,
of
that would
Hollow
be.
Earth.
I would say Destroyer would be next.
You know who I would love,
Honestly.
right? You know who I would love? Biollante.
Actually, would be a good one as well, Biollante. And I think I even suggested it. You could also do like a horror thing with it.
Yeah.
I have an idea. There's in the old Godzilla movies, there's this thing called Space Godzilla, which is basically Godzilla with a bunch of crystals all over its body. So imagine if Godzilla fights Space Godzilla, and then after the battle, like in the ending cutscenes, we just see Ultraman floating in space.
The Ultraman.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to do Space Godzilla, you'd probably have to include Biollante. That's always the thing that at the end of the Biolantes film, like its spores go out into space.
Mm-hmm.
So it's theorized that that created Space Godzilla.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'd say bring some of the other monsters first. That's also an issue I had with this film. The other monsters just disappeared. At
Yeah.
the end of King of the Monsters, Godzilla is the king again. He's the apex predator again. All the other monsters bow to him. And then you have like all these news reports talking about like, oh, like some of them are like revegetating like forests or bringing more new life to like to the seas. And then one thing to set up Godzilla vs Kong is that they make mention that all of the Titans are heading to Skull Island. So I'm guessing they decided not to because this film is 5 years afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an idea. What if you know how in Godzilla King of Monsters they have the kind of kaiju tag team match with Ghidorah and Rodan versus Godzilla and Mothra? What if they just had like a 4-on-4, like Kong with his boys, Godzilla with his boys, and it's just all out monster war?
Oh, like a monster war. You know what? I would actually enjoy seeing like I would actually the reason why I think it makes sense that Godzilla and Kong might do another team up is because they introduced Kong as like being the ruler of Hollow Earth. So like and that's where a lot of Titans are. So if another Titan comes up, like it makes sense that they'd include Kong and Godzilla having to like team up with his fucking monkey again.
If speaking of Hollow Earth, how come those humans set up a base down there? Like that thing is riddled with monsters. Not even just giant ones, just all different.
Are you talking about the temple?
Turn your brain off.
Wait, are you talking about the temple? Because I think the temple was created by Kong's people.
No,
the
I'm
temple,
about,
like right at the end, like the day is done. Like they set up their own base.
They show Kong in Skull Island, and the humans have a base where they monitor him down there.
It's okay.
It's literally the land of monsters. How can you set up a base and not get destroyed?
I guess the implication.
I assume they think Kong is protecting them.
Yeah, Kong is going to protect them. That's how come they can stay down there.
I guess then it's not Kong.
They do the whole like he's coming. You know, be ready. You know, or stand down. He's on the walk.
I mean, I guess it's not
like 7 a.m. walk.
I guess it's not the Kong monitoring station; it's the human monitoring station because Kong's the one watching their asses so they don't get eaten.
Yeah, he's making sure they don't get fucking killed. He's making
How long until giant corporations start stripping Hollow Earth of its resources?
Well, Apex.
I think that's probably the main reason why that team specifically is there.
Yeah,
so that,
to make sure they don't.
Another Apex doesn't come in.
Because like Apex itself is dead because its president is dead.
I mean, yeah, essentially, yeah. And
I would have
assumed that podcast guy would have revealed the whole Mechagodzilla thing.
I mean, could they? All the evidence was destroyed.
I mean, but I'm pretty sure everyone saw the whole Mechagodzilla fight, so...
Godzilla. I don't know. There's like Apex brand on this giant eye over here.
Well, hey, that couldn't be our Apex. That must be another guy's Apex, clearly.
It's another guy's giant robot kaiju.
Exactly. Don't blame us. It's not our giant kaiju.
We didn't do nothing.
Exactly. Kill all witnesses. Okay.
Like one of the things I like about the fight with the ships was Godzilla dragging Kong underwater. That was smart.
Well, not even that. Godzilla like getting one of the broken ships hooked to its tail, so he can like carve through them like even more. That was a detail. That was something I noticed. Like one of the ships, like the anchor was like attached to Godzilla's tail, so he's like dragging it behind him.
Oh, I like that. I remember. You know what I really liked about the ship scene was the fact that Kong was how Kong kept like jumping from ship to ship. I really like that scene actually. That was probably one of my That was probably one of my favorite Kong parts. If I have to say, I like something Kong did. There you go. Like, but how about? You know what? You know what's also disappointing.
Life.
Besides that, it was like going back to the Alex Jones stand-in, the big black guy.
Benny, yeah.
Like, what exactly was he? He was an engineer, but like, the hell did he work? Like, the hell did he work on? Like, I don't even know what Apex does. I guess they make weapons and like household devices.
They're like just a overall tech company. They're like I think
so like
General Electric.
So like Umbrella, basically.
Yeah, basically combine Umbrella with General Electric with Amazon.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense. And then what else? I think, yeah, I think that pretty much is it.
So we might as well rate it. I'd actually agree with Cool's rating, 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8. If you kind of tone down on the human stuff, particularly the Millie Bobby Brown and the podcast guy, if you got rid of that and then just reworked how Godzilla was revealed, I'd give it an 8.
Wait, you know, I
enjoyed it. I got what I wanted. I got Godzilla and King Kong fighting each other. That's it.
I want to point out one thing. The skull crawlers did absolutely nothing.
I mean, they were there to test Mechagodzilla. That's it.
I mean, I guess it's like what annoyed me was the fact that apparently they were the ones that wiped out Kong's race. Is that true?
Yes, or at least Kong's race on Skull Island.
Yeah, because remember, it wasn't the skull crawlers that we saw fighting Mechagodzilla. Like the one that wiped out Kong's people were like massive, like Kong sized.
Yeah, like all we saw were like these. I guess they were like still young.
Yeah.
Well, except for the one that was tested against Mechagodzilla. That was like at least like somewhat fully grown.
I think it was adolescent.
Like the other ones we saw were like babies.
Yeah.
I think the one fighting Godzilla was like an adolescent because it did not seem very big at all.
You know, I kind of wish they'd elaborate. I kind of wish they'd like touch on that a little bit. Like, oh, Apex is growing like skull crawlers. Well, not growing them, but they have them in eggs and shit, and they're sending them off. Just to show how much dirty shit like Apex actually did. But yeah.
Remember when Kong killed those flying things and then ate them?
Oh yeah, like drunk its brain juice. He ripped its head off and drank its brain juice. I'm like, that was pretty good. I like that. It'll be so as for my rating, I'll give it an 8. A solid 8. If the human elements were removed, I'd give it an 8.5, but as it stands, an 8.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Too many humans, not enough monsters, and way too many plot holes.
You know what? Not enough Godzilla for me. But still, you know what? 8. I'll give it an 8. I wanted more Godzilla, damn it. Shit.
Yeah, I would say that's really the...
I'm surprised you rated it that high.
One of the apparent flaws of the film. Despite the fact it's called Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla is absent for like most of it.
You know what? 7.5, man. Fuck it.
I'm surprised you rated it that high, Corrupt, considering they killed the hot girl.
Dude.
Well, now he's gonna make it a 2.
I want to make it a fucking 1 now that you say that. There you go.
Oh god.
They didn't need to kill her, man. You could have like rehabilitated her.
Rehabilitated her.
So,
oh man, I saw the errors of my ways. Let me help you.
Let me be hot around all of you. But anyway, like I'll go with a 7.5 because thinking about it, I really disliked how little Godzilla was actually in the movie. considering his name is first, and he should. I feel like this is his this was supposed to be. I know this is Kong's movie mostly, but I felt like there needed to be more Godzilla. I get why he wasn't in the movie as much. It's because they wanted to build mystery as to what was going on. But even still, I wanted more Godzilla. How about you, Mystery?
I think we needed way more monsters in general. I mean, they only showed like a handful of kaiju when they already established there's tons of them.
Yeah. And when they did show the other kaiju, it was just to show that they'd been defeated by Godzilla.
Well, the other kaiju was just the skull crawlers, and that was it.
And
the monsters that King Kong fought. Yeah.
And Ghidorah, I guess. Yeah, because in the beginning they showed a picture of Ghidorah and a bunch of other monsters and said they were defeated. So yeah, I mean, yeah, thinking about it, yeah, like too little Godzilla for me, so I'm going with 7.5. The movie itself was good though. If there was a bit more Godzilla, I'd give it a solid 8.
It was entertaining.
Yeah,
it was.
Guys,
it was a really entertaining movie.
Nothing Oscar worthy, but it was at least an entertaining.
It was an entertaining movie. I really enjoyed it.
Guys, it's getting late. I have to get ready for work tomorrow, so I'm gonna go.
No problem. Later, Mystery.
I think we're done anyway, so we just get Corrupt to do the outro.
All right. I'm Corrupt.
I'm Chris.
And
Mystery.
All right.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Mystery.
Yes, and special thanks to Mr. E for lending us his voice for this podcast. Stay tuned. Next Wednesday for more. Whatever the hell this is, for more of our podcast.
Hopefully by then we'd finish watching the Snyder Cut. Well,
yes.
At least Corrupt will.
I'm gonna so next Wednesday we'll probably do a review of the Snyder Cut, followed by more trending videos.
Oh boy.
I know, right? I'm gonna find something extra cringe.
Brace yourselves.
Oh no.
As far as having another guest, if somebody else wants to lend us their opinion, they are certainly entitled to. But for now, I'm going to call this stream done, and that's about it. Good night.
Bye.